Hey guys, how's it going? It's Krista here, and today I'll be making my own confetti for some future window shaker cards. This project came about because I went to my local craft store and I was unable to find any butterfly confetti that I was happy with. So today I'll be using Hero Art's Fancy Dyes butterfly dies. You don't have to use a fancy dye and it doesn't have to be butterflies. Many craft stores carry hole punches in different shapes like hearts, circles, squares. Those will work as well. I have a little bowl to collect all my little confetti pieces after I run it through the die cut machine. For the first method, I will run my foil cardstock through the die cut machine and just place it into my bowl until I have all of my papers die cut. Now these can be used as is for a regular shaker card, but I'm prepping these for a window shaker. So I'll be seeing these from both the front when the card is closed as well as from the back when the card is open. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those together with some liquid adhesive. I prefer liquid adhesive for this project because it allows me a little bit of wiggle room to line up the butterflies perfectly. Now, some of the butterflies in this die are really easy to line up size-wise, but there are quite a few that are off by just a little bit. The easiest way I found to match up the perfect size of butterflies was to run 2 pieces of paper through the die cut machine with the die oriented the same way each time I ran the paper through. And when I placed those pieces of paper side by side without changing the orientation of how it came out of the die cut machine, the sizes of the butterflies would match up. So the butterfly in the bottom right hand corner of the blue paper is the same size as the butterfly in the bottom right hand corner of the purple paper. And I'm just using a roll of washi tape for a glue holder. I don't have a fancy glue holder, but I found that my roll of washi tape worked perfectly. And here's just another view of picking a butterfly from one position on one paper and the corresponding position on the other paper to match them up perfectly. It doesn't have to be 2 different colors of paper. You can do 2 pieces of paper of the same color. I wanted to do some that were different colors because you're not going to see both sides at once with the window shaker card, but also I want to use some of these for actual confetti, like I'll place them in a card and when the recipient opens it, the butterflies will fall out. And when the butterfly falls to the ground, you'll see the alternating blue and purple as it looks like it's kind of fluttering or flying to the ground. The second way to make confetti for a window shaker card is using a piece of acetate. And this is just a piece of acetate that I picked out of my scrap pile. And before I got started, I just gave it a quick wipe, just with water. To color the acetate, I'm using a alcohol marker. And the thing that I like about this method is that I can pick the colors from my markers to match my project. I can draw different designs, I can have different shapes. This method is quite customizable. And once I've colored it how I want it, I'm just going to run that through my die cut machine. And I did find that I had to run this project through my die cut machine multiple times for my machine to cut my acetate. If you aren't familiar with how your machine cuts acetate, I highly recommend trying to cut a super scrap piece of acetate before you color your confetti project and run it through your die cut machine. I'm just gonna pop out these butterflies and they're good to go into the window shaker card. They don't need to be glued together because they're translucent and you can see the color on both sides. The third, final, and probably my favorite method of creating confetti for a window shaker card involves another piece of acetate, alcohol inks, and a blower. I'm just dropping my alcohol ink onto my acetate randomly. And the thing with alcohol inks is you want to make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated environment. And using the blower, I'm just going to move the alcohol ink around. And then I want to play with a little bit of blending solution as well as a gold alloy. And I really like how the alloy created these dots, kind of like these rimmed gold circles. It reminds me of spots on a butterfly. I didn't, however, like how there wasn't a lot of color within the spots, but that's okay. I just added some alcohol back in. I let that completely dry before running that piece of acetate through the die cut machine. And just as the alcohol marker technique was, once I pop these little butterflies out of the die, they're good to go into the window shaker card. And here's the final look at the finished product. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.